everybody. We are here. We are Lights Out Sports. It's myself, Mike Valentine, and my buddy Cheese over there. The blackness goes with the black shirts, and we got all kinds of stuff going on. We'll get you some color here in just a minute, though. I swear. We'll do another intro here in just a second. We'll get some color in our lives. So, buddy, it's only been like 24 hours or less since I've seen you last. We were doing so much stuff on this channel this week. How you been, man?
I have been good. You realize after the watch along on Thursday, we'll have done 4 live shows in 5 days.
Yes. Oh, trust me, my wife realizes that we have gone to 4 live shows in 5 days.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyone does not know, if you didn't watch last night, we are doing a watch along for the Cowboys Lions game, and we'll have a few guests as well for Thursday Night Football.
That's right. We got a lot of stuff going on, man. Just an absolute ton. I got so much stuff around me that we're doing. We got more notes on here. We got 2 poll questions coming up, one for college, one for the NFL. We got a rant that I'm sure one of us is going to do on the Texas. No, don't. Yeah, you'd be pointing to yourself over there on the.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Point to that.
I have something
here,
to say about Texas and Steve Sarkisian. I have something.
Yeah,
to
just
say.
a little. We'll get to that here in our college football wrap up here, and we'll do a whole bunch of other stuff before it's all said and done. But of course, we can't do a whole lot until we do the walk-up music.
Are you ready? 20 seconds start now. Ten seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, like I said, we are just absolutely jam-packed today. It's another great episode of the Lights Out Sports Podcast with myself, Mike Valentine, and Cheese. We're going to do the Flamin' 5 and 5 in a second. We're going to talk about each of the college football conference games, both on Friday and Saturday. There's more than what you think. We got some questions about those. We're going to talk about BYU specifically, and then we're going to shift gears and we're going to go into Texas. That'll be what we do during our 4-pitch talk. We're then going to talk about some signings in baseball. The Mets have done one. The Red Sox have done one. The Angels have done one, and the Orioles have done one since we've last talked. So we'll talk about all of those things. Then we're going to go into, of course, the NFL. And I can't wait to talk about Bengals because that's one of the big things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some Steelers. We're going to talk about some other teams. And, Cheese, what else exactly are we going to talk about with the NFL, buddy?
We're going to talk about the AFC North because it's getting pretty interesting. We're also going to talk about Monday Night Football. And sometimes the matchups not so great, like this past Monday. We're going to talk about Darius Slay getting waived by the Steelers. And we'll talk about the 2 number 1 seeds currently in the AFC and NFC and whether we think they will stay there.
All right, buddy. So as we've said, man, we have got a ton of stuff to get to. So let's go ahead and shut off this music in the background and let's get down to business. All right, man. So the first thing that we always do, for those of you who are new to everything, we will do the 5 Flamin' 5 in 5. Oh, there he is, getting himself all ready over there. Today, we're going to do 2 college football, 3 NFL. There won't be any baseball in this one.
Okay.
Baseball's got, they're pumping the brakes a little bit until the winter meetings this coming weekend. So they're
then it'll be crazy. Then all of a sudden, there'll be rumors everywhere.
I know, all over the place. We know it's coming. But this week is for college football. And NFL, mostly, we will still hit on the MLB stuff, but there won't be anything in the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. Let's explain. Cheese gets 5 minutes after I read the first question to answer that question and 4 more. If he can get all 5 of them right, we'll talk about the 5th one a little more. And if he doesn't, he'll burst into flames and I'll have to do the rest of the show by myself. So we'll see what happens here. He's gotten it every time, but he's getting a little close sometimes. He made me nervous a couple times ago. So we'll see how all this works out here. So, are you ready?
I was born ready.
Oh, here we go. He was born ready. Okay, we'll see about that. We've got 5 questions for you. Here's the first one. I'm going to make you pick a team.
Uh-oh.
We are going to do a watch-along this coming Thursday night for the Thursday night game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. It is Dallas at Detroit. Cheese, which team are you going to pick to win and why?
Oh, man.
Wait, that was the wrong one.
If Amon-Ra St. Brown, see, I don't know if he's playing or not. This is not an easy question. If Amon-Ra is not playing, that could really hurt Detroit. It hurt him on Thanksgiving. Wow. And the Cowboys don't have a great secondary. I'm going to take Dallas. I'm going to take Dallas to go in Detroit and win. They're just playing better. Their defense has been much better since they got Quinnen Williams. It's harder to run on them now. And I don't think Amon-Ra is going to play. So Dallas wins a close one.
Wow, our buddies over at Sons of Stars podcast are going to love you. They're on right after us, by the way. When you're done here, go over there. Sons of Star podcast. They're a Dallas Cowboy podcast. Great guys. They'll be with you for the rest of the evening. I'm going to give you some breaking news here that I'm not sure if you've heard yet or not, but we'll see. I'll be able to tell by your reaction. The Steelers have claimed the former wide receiver Adam Thielen off of waivers from Minnesota. What does his signing do for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Next to nothing. He used to be a really good receiver in the NFL because he was a great route runner, great separator. He just does not separate anymore. He's just probably should have retired a couple years ago. The Steelers need a receiver that can stretch the field. That's one of their biggest problems. DK Metcalf is the only one with speed down the field, and teams are just putting a safety over top of him. This signing really just does nothing. Just gives them another veteran, but I don't think it moves the needle at all.
Wow. All right. So Pittsburgh, don't expect a whole lot from that. I thought maybe you'd say a little bit more positive about that, but that's okay. I don't want you to be positive toward the Steelers at all as a Bengals fan. So we're good. All right, man. The third question here, right at 3 minutes to go. Should BYU head coach, I know it's Kalani Sitake, I believe.
Sitake? I'm guessing Sitake, but it could be Sitake.
Okay. I don't know.
Sure.
However, it's
I know who he is.
Sitake.
Yes.
Should he stay at BYU?
Yes, he should. He went there, right? Yeah.
Yes, he did go
He's
there.
He's an alum there. He's done a great job there. His job is safe. He could have a couple down years, and the job is safe. But at Penn State, you can make the Final Four of the playoff, and then the next year you get off to a bad start and you're fired. So Penn State, it's kind of like LSU. You have to win certain games and win amount of games every year or you're gone. So yeah, I think he should stay and build a legacy there. He's done a great job.
All right, question number 4. Justin Herbert had hand surgery today. He is considered day-to-day, and he's questionable for the Monday night game versus Philadelphia. My question for you is, can the Chargers win without him Monday night versus Philadelphia?
Well, depends what Eagles team shows up. The Eagles team that played Black Friday, anyone can beat them with any quarterback except the Minnesota Vikings quarterbacks. But probably not, because Eagles can't possibly play that bad. I Trey Lance. You cannot trust Trey Lance, the backup, at all. Not one of the better backups in the league. I would be shocked if he played just because Aaron Rodgers even missed a game, and he just doesn't miss games. Same thing, a non-throwing wrist. But without him, the way their offensive line injuries, no, I don't think they win without Herbert.
Okay, and the last question. You're going to have a little bbit of time for this one, buddy. I'm impressed today. I don't know if you've heard this or not. This is breaking news, possibly. We put this out on our X account earlier. Ndamukong Suh is returning to Nebraska to be their defensive coordinator. Will he be able to go into kids' living rooms and get them to sign with Nebraska just by his name alone? I can't wait to hear this from the laughter that I got from you.
Well, he's an undiagnosed sociopathic narcissist. So maybe he's good at manipulating people. So he might be great at that. The guy is a total psycho. He would stomp. He'll hurt anyone. When he was at Nebraska, leading up the draft, I heard rumors his teammates couldn't stand him because he's just, like I said, narcissistic, sociopathic. Like I said, undiagnosed. I'm not a doctor, but the dude's crazy. I think he is intelligent, and I think he probably could recruit well. So maybe he's good at that. I laughed at that because, like I said, he's probably one of my least favorite players, bottom 3 of all time. I absolutely despise him. I still do. So I hope he fails.
All right, buddy. Wow. I got some surprising things today that I wasn't expecting. I thought Adam Thielen would be more than that. I wasn't expecting that from the Ndamukong Suh. Now, I will give you, he has a reputation of doing pretty much anything he has to do to win or to win that snap or, whatever it is, right? I know we've had the instances before where he's stomped on people and he's done all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was interesting.
Trying to hurt people. He's perfect.
Yeah, he is. Yes. Yeah, he is.
The Packers had a center, Evan Dietrich Smith, who was lying on the ground. Instead of helping him up, he just stomps on him, just multiple times. I mean, he's done it to multiple people. He's a bad dude.
Yeah, I never said he was a good guy. I just said that that he was going to be the new defensive coordinator. Let me flip through here and
interesting
who that was that. I retweeted it out. Let's see here. 24/7 Sport was the one that retweeted that out. So, I think that's a viable source. I'm pretty sure that is going to happen. Wasn't he, if I remember correctly, wasn't he something with Colorado there with Deion Sanders and stuff too?
I had not heard his name in years since I think he played for the Buccaneers last, maybe. So I was not sure, but I guess Matt Rule needs to win. He gets a contract extension and collapses. But anyway, I hope Nebraska loses all their games next year.
All right. Well, Nebraska fans, Ndamukong Suh fans, you've got some fire now. So click that comment up there and leave some stuff for us. Maybe we can put a few more holes in cheese over here. I don't know, man. We got some stuff going on now. All right. So we're going to jump into our college football because, man, we have got a lot to talk about on this one today. So without further ado, let me find the right music here, and then we will get into it. I don't know where, man. I'm getting too old for this. There it is. Here we go.
I didn't burst into flames.
All right, guys and girls, here we go. I know we've got some ladies out there with us as well, so let's pull them into the conversation a little bit here. We're going to talk about all the conference games. We're going to start with the beginnings on Friday night, go all the way down through them. We're going to pick games, and I told Cheese earlier we're going to do it. What do we call it? Against the spread, I believe is the correct.
We're going to pick, by the spread. We're going to pick. By the spread. I'm going to give you the spread, and we'll pick both.
All right, so he's kept all the spreads a secret from me. I didn't want to know until right beforehand so we can have a little bit of intrigue with this. We're going to go over all the games, then we got some questions about them. We're going to talk about BYU. We're going to do the first 4 that we have out of the college football playoffs. We'll do that in the third part of our conversation. And then, of course, we'll save the best for last, or at least the rant for last, and we will do what we think about Steve Sarkisian, or Sarkisian, however you say it.
Sarkisian. I think it's Sarkisian, but it doesn't matter. He went to BYU, by the way. He was a quarterback at BYU.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. See, man, Cheese teaches
drafted by
us
the 49ers
every day.
I remember he was drafted by the 49ers. Yeah. He didn't make it. He didn't make it in the NFL.
Why are you smiling so big when you say that?
I don't know. Because I'm happy he didn't make it in the NFL. I'm not a big fan of his.
I couldn't tell. Okay. Oh, man. All right, let's start with these bowl games, buddy. So Friday night, there's going to be 4 bowl games. Saturday, there's going to be 5 bowl games. So let's start with the ones.
Bowl games are, you mean conference championship games, right?
Conference championship games. Yes. What did I say?
Bowl games. You're ready for the bowls. You are ready for these bowl games. You want to skip over a step. Okay.
Well, you're the one that wants to skip over conference championship games. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But
yep.
All right. So the Sun Belt Conference Championship has the 8-4 Troy versus 11-1 James Madison, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Mm-hmm. This should be like a cakewalk for James Madison, shouldn't it?
Yes, it should.
I mean, I was looking at different stuff, and Troy does not really do anything well. They do some things average, but they don't do anything well. And James Madison has a really good offense.
Just like this, we talk about the ACC title game, they won a tiebreak to get that second seed.
Right.
There's one clear team in this conference, Sunbelt, JMU, and there's another. So, yeah, it's this should not be a close game at all.
All right, so then let's move on to the Conference USA Championship. That is Kennesaw State.
You want to pick them as we go? You want to pick them at the end?
No, let's pick them we'll pick them after the Fridays, and then we'll pick them after the Saturdays. How about that?
Sounds good.
So Kennesaw State 9-3 versus Jacksonville State 8-4. It's 7 p.m. And the only thing you need to know about this game is that I was researching this, and CBS Sports Network is bragging about having the Conference USA Championship game. That should be all you need to know.
Yep.
So I will give you credit. The Owls can pass it. They have a 245.7 yards per game in the passing, and the Gamecocks, one of those great names you just need to say over and over again, the Gamecocks can run it. They have an average of 262.3 yards per game. So does either team have a defense?
Probably not.
Probably not. You're not even sure, are you?
Not really. No, they both had games where they put up a lot of points and gave up a lot as well. So, yeah.
All right. Let's just move right along. Okay. Mountain West Conference Championship. It's going to be at 8 p.m. on Fox. It'll be UNLV, who ended the season at 10-2, versus Boise State, who ended the season at 8-4. What do you say about this? I like my line here, so it's in the notes, but I'll let you go first. UNLV and Boise State for the Mountain West Conference Championship.
Well, UNLV is just a team like we just talked about. They can score, but they can give up a lot as well. So, and Boise State, they had a weird season. They had a couple games where they just had trouble moving the ball, but other than that, they moved the ball no problem. Mm-hmm. So they're 8-4, but they're probably better than that record.
All of these teams that we're talking about so far have just got great offenses and not great defenses. So all of these games, if you like high scoring, just up and down the field, should be good. Now, what I said about UNLV and Boise State in the notes was UNLV and Boise State, it's like the stats over the pedigree, because Boise State has done really well in the Mountain West Conference, not so well this year. UNLV is going to come out of nowhere, and they've got the stats. So it's going to be which one do we think will win, and we'll pick that game here in just a moment. The last game that will be on Friday night is the American Conference Championship. North Texas, that finished at 11-1 versus Tulane, 10-2, 8 p.m. on ABC. Go ahead, Chiefs. I'll let you have it for this one first.
The over and under is 230 points.
It should be if it's not.
Yeah. Oh, it should be. This is going to be – these two offenses are awesome. Both have really good quarterbacks. I cannot wait to watch this game on Friday night. I watched North Texas last week. I was surprised how much speed they have. Against Temple, they just were fast on offense. And, I'm really looking forward to this one.
And I think this is going to be interesting, too, because both of these coaches have been snatched up by other programs, yet they're still going to coach these teams. So that should put an extra dynamic in there, right?
Yep, no doubt about it.
Let me give you the last stat on this game, then we'll go back through and pick these four. North Texas has scored 50-plus points in 5 of their last 6 games.
Yeah, the last 2 games against Rice and Temple, they just absolutely destroyed them. They just moved down the field. Were barely stopped the entire game.
All right, buddy. So let's go back to the Sun Belt real quick. Sun Belt Conference Championship. Troy, James Madison, 7 p.m. ESPN. Who are you going to pick? And tell me the spread.
Okay, so we both like James Madison to win, I think.
Yes, we do.
The spread is 23.5. So
Oh.
I'll go first in this game. I'll go first and I'll give you time to think because you're just hearing the spreads the first time.
Okay.
I'm going to take JMU to cover because, well, one, I think they're going to cover anyway, but two, they're going to try to score as many points as possible to look good for the committee.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to want to win by 30 or 40 points. So I think James Madison wins and covers. And like you said, Troy, they're 8-4, but they're nothing great.
No, but what's the point spread again? 20, how many?
23.5.
So you really got to beat them by 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Correct.
Whew.
That's a big spread.
It's a
championship
huge
game.
spread. You know what? I'm going to take Troy.
Okay. Taking Troy.
I'm going to take Troy in the 23.5 points.
Okay. You're taking Troy.
Even though I don't want to, really. But, man, 23.5 points is a lot of points.
Yeah, we'll revisit these games on Tuesday and see who did better. Okay. Maybe we should not bring up my NFL picks from last week. Maybe
all right, we won't do that.
Yeah. Do you realize that those 4 games we did, all 4 underdogs covered? But anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, all 4 of them did. I was as I was watching the games, I was like, no way, not another one. No way, not another one. So yeah. All right, the Conference USA Championship game, Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State. Kennesaw State 9-3, Jacksonville State 8-4. It'll be at 7 p.m. on the CBS Sports Network that only about 20% of our viewers get.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be really close. I'll be honest with you, I don't know a ton about them. I had to do a lot of research on these teams. I haven't watched either one play. I actually watched Jacksonville State play last year because they had a offensive lineman I wanted to watch, Clay Webb, who went undrafted, signed by the Broncos. But it's Kennesaw State by 2.5. Because of that, and I think it's a coin flip game, I'm going to take Jacksonville State to cover the 2.5. So they could still lose by 1 or 2 points and cover. So I'll take Jacksonville State in the spread.
Okay. Just because I'm like you, I don't know a whole lot about these two teams. And I did some research too. Like I said, the Owls can pass it. That's the Kennesaw State Owls. And it is the Jacksonville State Gamecocks that can run it. So I'll go with the passing team. And I will go with Kennesaw State.
Okay. I'm making note of these. Okay.
All right.
What's
so
next?
The Mountain West Conference Championships got UNLV versus Boise State, 8 p.m. on Fox. The stats against the pedigree. Who are you going to take?
So Boise State is favored by 4 to win. I'm going to take Boise State,
by the way.
It is Boise State. I'm a little surprised it's not 7 or 8. Boise State, I get it. They're 8-4. UNLV's 10-2. But they played UNLV about 5-6 weeks ago, and they whooped them in Boise State. I just don't know that all that much has changed. So I'm going to take Boise State to win and cover fairly easily. Maybe win by 2 scores. What about
it'll be on that bright blue field there. I believe it's called Albertsons Field. The grocery store has the naming rights to that field. So I'm going to take Boise State as well. I like the bright blue field. What do you think about the bright blue field they're going to play on?
I think it's cool to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I always love watching that field. Yeah. Okay, we finally agree. Okay.
Yeah, we agree on this. Boise State for
That's
both.
That's rare for us. Okay.
Yes, that means UNLV will win. Okay. Probably so. The American Conference Championship game has North Texas and Tulane, 8 p.m. ABC on that Friday. And as we said, North Texas has scored 50 in 5 of their last 6 games. What's the spread? I can't wait to hear this one.
North Texas is favored by 2.5.
That's it.
That is it. Yeah, this one's a tough one. I'm trying to see. Maybe I should have done. Maybe I should have looked this up before the show. I want to see if they played each other. I don't think they did.
I don't think they did play each other. No,
they did, and that's unbelievable. They didn't play each other. They actually Navy tied the 3-way tie for 7-1. Navy lost the tiebreak. So they did not play each other. So this makes it tougher. So North Texas by 2.5. I think you know where I'm going with this because we did our 12 team yesterday. So I'm going to take North Texas to win in a big time shootout, to cover the 2.5 and win in a close one, maybe by like a touchdown.
All right, just to be different, because I do like Tulane, I like their coach a lot. We talked about him in the show that we did yesterday as well. If you haven't got a chance to see that one, go to our YouTube page, which is All Gloves Off Sports Media. You can go to our X page as well. Now, we retweet a lot of stuff, so you're going to have to go down through our feed to get it. Actually, not right the moment you're not. It's going to be pinned to the top until this show is over. So, as we're saying goodbye, either go to that one or go over to Sons of Star podcast and keep listening to some sports stuff while you're going to bed. You probably want to listen to us because we'll bore you to death and you'll go to sleep faster. But anyway, go over and do that.
Maybe not. Listen, maybe it's not that boring.
Yes, but if I set the expectations low, right? It's kind of like when I was dating people. If I set the expectations low, now as
so
I told
you, saying there's a chance,
right? So you're saying it's kind of like the Bengals, right? So you're saying there's a chance.
Okay, so you're taking Tulane.
I will pick Tulane. Yes, we need to get off this subject, don't we? Yes. Okay,
well, real quick, if you remember preseason, we did our predictions.
Yes.
We asked who would be the non-Power 4 team. My prediction was Tulane, if you remember correctly. So just
that's a long time ago, so
That's a long time. Oh, I have it all written down. Don't worry. Okay, now let's talk Saturday games.
All right, buddy, let's do that. Saturday games. The first one will be the Big 12 championship. It'll be number 11 BYU. That finished 11-1 versus number 5 Texas Tech. That also finished 11-1. Noon on ABC in AT&T Stadium. I will say that Texas Tech allowed just 16 total combined points in their final 3 games, and one of those 3 games was against BYU. Go ahead and talk about BYU Texas Tech for a minute, sir.
So BYU has 1 loss. And the only loss was to Texas Tech. It was at Texas Tech. It was on the road, but they really struggled to move the ball. And other than that, BYU has done really well in a not so easy Big 12 this year. It's much tougher to me than it was last year. The one thing that can hurt BYU is Texas Tech can drive to the stadium. Lubbock, Dallas can't be too far. 3 or 4 hours is my guess. I don't know. Yeah. And BYU is much further. So Texas Tech probably will send more fans, but Texas Tech defense is just so good. And we'll talk about Texas Tech defender in a little bit here. But yeah, I think we'll talk about in a second, the spread. We'll get to that.
Right. But I think it's fair though for us to mention BYU. It's not like BYU is the only team that's not been able to score against Texas Tech. I mean, Texas Tech has one of the best defenses in college football. Them, Oklahoma, there's a couple other teams, but they've got a really good defense, especially their ends. And I think the draft guru will tell us that I think both of those ends will be playing on Sundays in the near future, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think that David Bailey, that's his name. It was escaping me. He's definitely a top 20 pick. He could be a top 10 pick by the time the draft season goes around. He's just been playing so well. If he works out well, if he has an elite workout, he will be a top 10 pick for Texas.
All right. So we'll pick the winner of this game in a moment. But first, let's move on to the conference championship. I forgot to put down who this is. This is the MAC, right? I believe.
Yes, the MAC. Oh, they still have a MAC? Okay.
I think so. I don't know. I have no notes on this game whatsoever. We're about to just breeze right through this one. But I said I'd mention them all, so I don't want to renege on that either. So it's Miami of Ohio versus Western Michigan. It'll be noon on ESPN, and they're actually playing in Ford Field, so where the Detroit Lions play. So that'll be interesting as you play, the Thursday night game on obviously Thursday, and then you play the Saturday night game for college 2 days later. So kind of interesting there.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if it sells out. Nothing against the MAC, but I'd be surprised if it sells out.
Well, I thought it was interesting, and I wondered as I was doing the little bit of research on this game that I did, to be very honest with everyone, I wonder if it was done on purpose to play the Thursday night game at Ford Field, knowing they were going to play this game there on Saturday. I wonder.
I don't know. Well, I don't know that. I think they played this game in Ford Field because of that, because it's not the day before. But because the Lions always play on Thanksgiving, and the Cowboys always play on Thanksgiving, so it makes sense to play them the next week So they both have the same amount of rest the next Thursday. So I think they would have scheduled a different city, maybe Indianapolis, maybe just somewhere else if they had been playing Thursday night.
And again, Cheese and I will be doing a watch along for that. That is like less than 48 hours from now. Boy,
correct.
We'll be turning this around. So what time will that start, Cheese?
It starts. It's either 8:15 or 8:20 Eastern time Thursday night. I can't remember which one's 8:15, what's 8:20 Sunday night or Thursday, but we'll probably around 8 Eastern, 6 your time, by the way. I'll help you out there.
Thanks.
We'll join about 15, 20 minutes before the game starts just to preview it a little bit. Make sure you check it out. And all you have to do is just put us on and, mute the TV, and we'll do the watch along, and we'll talk about the Lions and Cowboys.
Absolutely. We'll talk about some more stuff too, as well. Have commercial breaks to be talking about stuff, and then we'll have halftime, and hopefully we'll have a couple of guests on with us and everything. So all of that will be a great time. It'll be this Thursday, roughly 6 p.m. my time. That's all I care about, and then you can tell everybody else when they can view and tune in to us, depending on where they live.
Yeah, we'll go live about 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the SEC conference game. Number 4 Georgia that finished at 11-1 versus number 10 Alabama that finished at 10-2. It'll be 4 p.m. on ABC, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So I'll let you go first on this one, sir. Number 4 Georgia versus number 10 Alabama for the SEC Conference Championship.
Yeah, Texas A&M, all they do is beat Texas, and they lost. So that changed the game. We get a rematch, and I'm excited. Almost every single one of these games is fun. Georgia and Alabama played some epic games over the last 5-6 years. So I am as much as I like watching Marcel replay, I like this rivalry. Like if it's Georgia A&M or Georgia or A&M Alabama, just don't have the rivalry. So I'm pretty stoked about this game. I don't honestly, I have no idea what I'm picking right now. I got to figure that out. I have about 5 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. So Rama will be there, so we'll have at least one person watching us during the watch along on Thursday, so we can count her in. She says
she went to North Texas, by the way.
You know a lot of stuff about her.
I do.
Okay, excellent. All right, buddy. So I'm going to talk about the SEC game here for just a second. I think this game will come down to Alabama's quarterback Ty Simpson. If he can limit the mistakes, because the games that they have lost, he has kind of made some mistakes in. He can limit those mistakes and can score even half the time. I think Alabama has a good shot at beating Georgia. What do you think about it all kind of falling on Ty Simpson's shoulders?
Yeah, when he's running for his life, he's not so good. There's no doubt about it. I remember watching that Florida game in week 1. He was just getting hit all the time. Yeah, if you give him time, clean pocket, he'll sit there and he'll be accurate. He'll put it right in your hands. And, that's the key. So, it's a rematch of a game earlier this year, a really close game. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to the ACC Conference Championship game. It's number 18, Virginia, who finished 10-2. And then they're going to be up against Duke. That's right. That's not a misspeak by me. It's Duke, 7-5.
Basketball team?
No, not their basketball team, although there's probably some people
Christian
on the
Laettner?
basketball team that'll be out there.
Christian Laettner. Okay.
8 p.m. ABC from Bank of America Stadium. So 18 Virginia versus Duke. Talk to me about Virginia versus Duke, buddy.
So they played 3 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
Just
maybe a short time ago.
Yeah. I'll just tell you about Virginia real quick. They were they got a big win against Florida State. They got to a great start this year. And then they kind of went to a little funk. They still found a way to barely beat Washington State, barely beat Cal, barely beat North Carolina. They found a way to win those games, beat Louisville on 2 defensive touchdowns. They found a way to win. And then when they lost to Wake Forest at home, it hit something in them triggered. And they've been outstanding ever since. They pretty much dominated Duke and Virginia Tech the last couple games. Absolutely dominated them. And they just had a bye before Virginia Tech, so they're pretty rested. They're pretty much healthy except Cam Robinson. Their starter linebackers out for you. That hurts. But Virginia's playing real well. And Duke kind of backed into it. I think I thought I had it pulled up. But, yeah, Duke is one of 5 teams that went 6-2. Virginia went 7-1 in the conference, right? And somehow they won the tiebreak. And I think, and you could disagree with one. Of those 5 teams, I think they're the worst one, but they win the tiebreak. The other teams are SMU, Pitt, Georgia Tech, and Miami. Those are the other 4 teams. But Duke somehow slipped in with the tiebreak. I tried to look it up. I didn't even want to. It was too confusing. So
yeah. The tiebreak thing was like 8 paragraphs long, and I was like, oh, yeah. Reminded me.
They don't all play
yesterday.
each other. If they all play the same teams, but they don't all play each other, so it makes it really complicated. So we'll talk about the spread here in a second.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now I'll say this, and I picked Duke for my surprise team, if you remember way back when, right?
Yes.
And now I'm going to say this: a 7-5 team should never make your conference championship game. I'm sorry, but that does not represent your conference well. Duke is a good story, but it's midnight, and they're about to turn back into a pumpkin. So, we'll look at that here in just a moment. Let's look at the last game, the Big Ten Conference Championship. Number 1, Ohio State, 12-0, and number 2, Indiana, 12-0 on Fox from Indianapolis in Lucas Oil Stadium. Ohio State. I want to give you this stat here before I let you talk for just a second, buddy. So Ohio State is number 1 in points allowed. Most people, I think, know this, 7.8 points per game. But what you might not know is Indiana is number 2 with 10.9 points per game. So I personally predict a low-scoring game with a team that wins the turnover battle is probably going to win this game. I know that's like, oh, really breaking news, Valentine. Well, but if it's a low-scoring game like that, I think one turnover or one big play could really turn the game into someone's favor. So talk to me, Cheese. What do you think about this Big Ten matchup?
Well, Matt can't play in Indianapolis if the Big Ten is. I just realized that. No, this is – I don't want a 13-10 game. I get it. It could be low scoring, but I want to see some offense because I really like both quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I like the receiving cores. I really like these offenses. So I'm hoping they go off. I'm hoping the defenses struggle a little bit, but yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Just how many times you see 1 versus 2 play each other anyway, let alone for the number 1 seed for the Big Ten conference. Neither one of these teams got to play in this, despite being in the playoff last year. Both these teams were. Neither one got to play in this game. It was Oregon, Penn State, if people don't remember that. So, yeah, just really looking forward to it. Luckily, I have 2 TVs, so I can put the ACC game on the second TV.
Well, I mean, but this is not just number 1 and number 2. I really want to talk about this game for a second. This is probably number 1, number 2 in the Heisman candidacy, or at least number 1 and number 3. Love might be in between there somewhere, right? This is
2 of the Heisman candidates. Good point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is number 1 and number 2 ranked defense in college football. So, I mean, there's a lot of it's not just the team that finished number 1 and the team that finished number 2. There's some underlying factors here that are also both number 1 and number 2. I think that'll make a really, really interesting dynamic in this game. I'm really thinking about not working overtime on Saturday so I can come home and watch this game live. So
Fernando Mendoza for Indiana's quarterback, if anyone not knowing, he is the favorite right now for the Heisman, and Julian Sayin is probably 2 or 3, the quarterback for Ohio State.
Yeah, so I mean, you give Sayin this game, he goes off. All of a sudden, it really makes it a really good Heisman Trophy battle, I think. So yeah, we'll see. Or maybe between the 2 of them, they hurt each other and Love wins it. I don't know. This will be interesting. So
maybe the defense is dominate and Love sneaks in and wins it. I doubt it, but I really think if one of the quarterbacks goes off, they're like almost a lock to get it. If the other one doesn't, we'll see.
See what happens. There are now. Let me ask you this, because I don't know, and I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot. You might not know either, but I'm going to admit the fact that I don't know. Is the Heisman Trophy a regular season award, and they don't do the college football playoff games counted in that Heisman? Do you know?
College football playoff does not count, but conference championship games do, unless you go ahead and vote. Some guys vote with like a week or 2 left in the season, which is absolutely ridiculous. I can't remember what year it was, but it's been more than 5 years. And a bunch of members admitted, I've already voted. And so many things can change. So the wrong person might win. Someone could just collapse. It's like the Ty Detmer won it and then had his worst game of the year. Yeah, that's – I don't know if you know that story. He had a horrible – he won that, but they had scheduled a game that night. he wins it and then plays like Hawaii for BYU and just was awful in that game. So, but no, the college playoff, the vote's already done by the time the college football playoff happens.
Okay. Thank you for that. Because I honestly, I did not know. I'm glad you did,
Yeah.
Especially when I put you on the spot and I didn't put that in the notes. So, yeah, good deal. I should have known you would have enough knowledge that you would be able to pull that one out, buddy.
All right, so I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Yeah, both of us are in the same boat. We're just honest, right? If it's to a fault, it's to a fault, but I'm still going to be honest, right? Yeah. So the Big 12 Conference Championship game, number 11 BYU, number 5 Texas Tech, noon on ABC. Tell me the spread.
It's 12.5 Texas Tech.
Ooh.
Makes it really tough. I don't know what to do with it. I was hoping it'd be like 8 or 9, then I would have taken Texas Tech, but I'm still going to take them just because I think BYU, they had trouble moving the ball last time. I don't think they'll win by as much. I think they won. Let me pull it up. Last time they played, it was at Lubbock, and they won by 22. I don't be quite that much, but I still think they win by 2 touchdowns. So I'll take Texas Tech to cover barely the 12.5. What about you?
I'm going to say that BYU's got some momentum, that BYU doesn't want to be humiliated twice. They might get beat, but do they want to be humiliated? I don't think so. It looks like now, I know we reported yesterday that I was pretty confident in some of the stuff that I was reading that their coach was going to move on to Penn State. Now it looks like he's not. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there over the next couple of days. And this is just, we talked about this some yesterday on the show. This is terrible, how these coaches have to make decisions and everything else while they're trying to prepare for these really important games. This is just terrible for these teams and these kids.
Yeah, and the coach staying, that gives momentum, and they've played really well since that loss. They have really done well in their last 3 games. So I don't love BYU. I don't love taking the Texas Tech there, but I'm going to take them. So another one we're different.
Yeah, I'm going to go BYU. I like all that momentum. All right, so the MAC game. Let's just breeze past this one. Miami of Ohio, Western Michigan.
Western Michigan by 2.5. Once again, they're closer. It's in Detroit, the game. So Western Michigan by 2.5 is basically a coin flip. I'll just take Western Michigan because they're closer. Okay. Sure.
So because I'm from Ohio, I'll take Miami of Ohio. Even though I think Ben Roethlisberger went there, and I can't stand
I'm just glad Ohio University almost made it. I'm glad they're not in it because what I read, their coach somehow is leave of absence. Apparently there's something bad he did. We don't know yet. So, yeah, I'm just glad. Yeah, if Miami had lost, Ohio would have gotten in. So, what's next?
All right, the SEC championship game, number 4 Georgia versus number 10 Alabama, 4 p.m. ABC. What's the spread between Georgia and Alabama?
Georgia by 2.5. I'm a little surprised. I thought it'd be like.
Yeah, I thought that'd be more.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take it based on what I've seen on the field. Here's why I'm picking Bama. It's because except for that national championship game where they met, Bama has pretty much owned Georgia.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who the coach is. Bama has owned them in this matchup majority of the time. And in that national title game, all the receivers for Alabama were hurt, or they might not have lost that game. So I'm going to take Bama to at least cover the 2.5. What about
you? Oh, hang on. Let me see here.
Okay. Your name is now spelled M-I-C.
That's okay. It's been spelled worse. I can go with M-I-C. It's I've been called and spelled much worse, so we're good with that. You are going to take Alabama, right?
I'm taking Alabama plus 2.5. I honestly did not know what I was going to do. If it was a coin flip, I might have taken Georgia, but since Georgia's favored, I'll just take Bama in a close one.
Okay, then I think this is a coin flip game. I really thought that Georgia would be favored a little more than this. I thought they'd go at least 3. It is in a neutral site, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's in New Orleans. I'll go with Georgia. I'll go with the opposite of you and go with Georgia.
We've picked one the same so far. That's crazy. Okay.
All right, let's move on to the ACC conference. Number 18, Virginia versus Duke. This better be a big spread.
So Virginia won 34-17 last time out. And honestly, they should have won by more. They kind of were lackadaisical in the second half. The spread's 3.5. It started 2.5.
What?
I'm shocked when I saw this. I thought 10.5, 11 was my guess. That was what I thought. So I'm going to take Virginia to cover easily. If it was 10, I'd probably take Virginia. So the way they're playing, the way Chandler Morris is playing, their quarterback, the running back, the way they have such a good quarterback, running back, wide receiver combo. So I'm going to take Virginia to, win comfortably. Maybe not blow up, but comfortably win.
Well, okay. So when a game like this comes up,
yes,
and I think we've said this before on this show, what does Vegas know?
I think
Vegas,
maybe
Vegas
they think
doesn't do
Duke
this to lose, right?
Maybe they think Duke can just lay the brick and they can score a lot of points because they do have a good offense. Duke can score, but Duke can't stop anything. Some of their games, they just given up a ton of points. And they did not stop Jamari Taylor. They did not stop Terrell Harris. They did not stop Chandler Morris at all. They couldn't stop any of them in that last game. I watched the entire game. So Vegas, they're smarter than me, sure, but maybe they know something. But I'm shocked.
I'm shocked too. But I can't pick Duke with just that small of a point spread. I've got to go with you and pick Virginia.
Yeah, maybe they think Duke's better than 7-5. I guess. Okay.
Yeah. So we just got Duke into the college football playoff by that right there. All right. Watch it'll happen. Watch it.
Watch Duke. Watch Duke
have some kind of a reaction to it. I mean, oh my gosh.
Watch Duke be like the 12 seed and knock off the 5 seed Ole Miss because Lane Kiffin left. They don't show up and Duke makes the round of 8.
And if it does, we're going to start a new podcast called Conspiracy Theory Football.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, make sure you check out my channel at Football with Cheese. I kind of went over conspiracy theory on my video today.
Yes, you did.
At Football with Cheese, CHEZ. I did back-to-back Vikings videos because I couldn't get it all in the first one. And also tomorrow, I'm going to do an Indianapolis Colts video I've been thinking of for 2 weeks. And they haven't been playing as well, so it's a perfect time to do one. So make sure you follow me and hit the bell.
All right. Sounds good, buddy. Ohio State is the next one. Big Ten Conference Championship, of course, Ohio State, Indiana, both teams at 12-0. It's going to be on Fox, Lucas Oil Stadium. It will be 8 p.m. That night. Tell me the point spread here. Let's go with that first.
So I was a little surprised about this one, too. Ohio State by 4.5. So
I'm still going to take Ohio State.
Okay, well, while you're thinking about it, all right, you go first.
No, I just said I'm still going to take Ohio State. I can't go against my guys.
This could be a close game. It should be a close game. But
I think it will be a close game.
Here's what I think, though. I just think Ohio State's wide receivers are going to give Indiana trouble. I think they're going to hit a big play or two with Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Smith or Innis. What's his first name? I don't know. Or Max Clare, the tight end. You can't cover everyone all the time. So I think Ohio State and Bo Jackson's come on the running back. I think they just hit a big play late and win by 7 to 10 points. So I got Ohio State winning and be the number 1 seed in covering. So we both take Ohio State there.
Okay.
All righty.
All right. Excellent. We got a few more people who are now voting on our poll question over here. The lights out poll question for college football. How many Ole Miss players are going to transfer with Lane Kiffin to LSU football? Your choices are 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 or 8, or 9 or more. I think will be a little interesting as to what our fans are saying here. I'm staring at it right now. It's got over 25 votes, so should be interesting. We'll go over these questions, and then we'll do that here in just a second. So when we look at all of these conference championship games, Cheese, who's going to be the non-Power 5 conference team that goes to the playoffs?
I think it should be North Texas. I think it's between James Madison and the winner of North Texas Tulane. But I think if North Texas beats Tulane, it's just much better than beating Troy. Or Tulane beats North Texas, they should go. So I'll say North Texas. You?
I think so too. I really like, and I think they're the only team that has a shot at beating any of the other teams because of their offensive prowess. I mean, we've talked about it, 50 points in 5 of their last 6 games. At least I feel as though they have a shot. Maybe not a good one, but it's a heck of a lot better shot than I think, Troy or Tulane or any of the other teams would have.
So. They do, because they're explosive. They got speed on offense. Yeah. They can score. They'll probably give up a lot too, but they can score, so they'll got a shot. I do hope they make it. I'm looking forward to seeing them. If they get in, assuming Virginia wins over Duke, they'll probably be the 12th seed. If Duke wins, they'll probably be the 11th seed.
Okay. Will the college football committee consider not including a Power 5 team next season or a non-Power 5 team next season? This is why I ask. We've got 4 or 5 teams that are going to get left out of this 12-team playoff. One way in order to make one of those other teams happy would be to eliminate this non-Power 5 team. Will they consider doing that, you think?
No. Because if they do that, then it's like if you're not in the Power 4, you're not getting – I guess it's Power 4 now. I think they're going to redo the big Pac-12. I don't know if they'll count again, but starting next year. But no, the whole point is we got to give someone a chance that's not in the Power 4. It worked out last year. Boise State went 11-1, only lost to Oregon. This year, maybe there isn't a Boise State, but still, you can't. No, they won't change that.
Okay. Give me you're the big draft prospect guru, right? I'm going to give you a chance to shine here for a moment. Give me a future NFL prospect to watch out for during these conference championship games.
So you talked about the Texas Tech defensive ends. We talked about David Bailey, and the other one I had to look it up because his name's weird, Romello Height. But I'm not going to talk about either one of those.
Oh, of course not. Why would you set that up so well?
Well, no, but everyone's talking about that. I mean, they're definitely probably a first-round pick and a second-round pick. They're both probably top 50 guys.
So you're going to give us somebody we don't know about?
Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker for Texas Tech.
Oh.
I love watching him play. That dude is everywhere. He is an unbelievable run stopper. He forces fumbles, his energy. He's a leader. He's got incredible instincts. He's probably not going to be drafted in the first 2 rounds, but he's one of those guys because of the effort, because of the leadership, because of the instincts, because you can tell he loves football. He's going to be a starter in the NFL. He just is. So he'll probably go in rounds 3 or 4, and he should go in round 2. So, yeah, watch out for Jacob Rodriguez. I believe he's number 10 for Texas Tech in that game against BYU.
Okay. I like it. Giving us somebody that maybe we don't know about to watch. Number 10 in Texas
Tech. He transferred from Virginia, by the way. So, yeah. Unfortunately for Virginia. Yeah.
How many of these games do you think will just be non-competitive blowouts?
JMU will be, and I think Virginia has a chance to be maybe Texas Tech. So I'll say 1.5.
1.5.
No, I'll say 2. I'll say 2. What about you?
Okay. I'm worried about Duke. I'm actually worried about Boise State a little bit against UNLV because they really can put it to you. So I'm worried about that game as well.
That's true. You're right. They blew them out earlier this year. That's true. Forgot about that one. The only other team that I'm a little worried about would be BYU, but I think the momentum that they're gaining with what's going on outside of their, of the walls and stuff there of their locker room and stuff, that they're able to take that momentum and channel it in the right way. I think they'll make it to where that's a competitive game. So I'm going to go with you and say 2. Okay.
You want to get rid of conference championship games. You've said it on this show multiple times. So yes. I kind of set you up with the last question. Only 2 of these games we're thinking are going to be non-competitive blowouts. So if the majority of these games are competitive and they help decide the college football playoff rankings, how can you want to get rid of conference championship games?
Because it proved last year they didn't knock you out of the college playoff if you lost the game. So every game in the regular season matters, but in college playoff, it matters for seeding, but it doesn't matter if you lose the game. You're still getting it. And that's what annoys me. It's like, okay, what you don't want to happen, this happened when there was 4 teams, is you play in the game, lose, and then a team in your conference that you beat that year gets in because that was your second loss. They only have 1 loss. You don't want that to happen. But at the same time, we're getting to a point where, like, Ole Miss, Oregon might be happy. They get a bye week. They don't have to play. They get no injuries. You know, they might actually be happy because they both only have 1 loss. They're both going to be like a top 6 seed. So it's almost better not to play in it. Yeah, North Texas, Tulane need to play in it, need to decide that. I'd almost rather there was a Final Four. You add an extra week and do the top 4 teams in the conference. You do 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, and then play again. I'd rather do that than just have 2 teams. Because look what happened in the ACC. 7 and 5 Duke teams in because of some crazy tiebreak, right? What was the other conference that had the crazy tiebreak? Troy getting in.
Troy.
Yeah, Troy. Like, Duke and Troy should not be in these games. They're not good.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't. So I get what you're saying. I just don't love – the conference championship game used to mean everything. When it was 2 teams, it meant so much. But now, especially with not everyone playing each other, some playing easier schedule than others, I just don't love the championship game anymore. It's not the same as it used to be.
I kind of like the Final Four aspect you're bringing up, though.
Because then Miami can't complain. Okay, Miami, you're in. They're a Final Four team, you know?
Right.
And then we get to see – we also get to see Oregon in it. We get to see Ole Miss and Texas A&M would also be in it. It'd be Ole Miss. So it would be probably Georgia versus Texas A&M, Ole Miss versus Alabama, and then the winners play. And in the Big Ten –
would you add an extra week, or would you do like Thursday, Saturday, Friday, Sunday?
You'd have to add an extra week or start a week earlier. Or just actually, you don't need an extra week. Stop doing 3 weeks in between the end of the regular season and the college football playoff. You don't need that long. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you don't need to. I'm trying to look at the Big Ten, but of course, I want to see who would play.
It would be
so
Washington, right?
USC would play
USC,
Ohio State, and Indiana would play Oregon again.
Sorry, buddy. I know if he's listening, there's a guy at work that's going to want to punch me tomorrow for forgetting USC and saying Washington.
Well, USC beat Michigan.
I'm sorry, Alvarez. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, USC and Michigan tied for 4th, but USC beat them, so they would get it. So
okay, interesting. All right, so let's do our first poll question here. It is this: how many Ole Miss football players are going to transfer with Lane Kiffin when he goes to LSU? Which, it's already done, it's already sealed, it's already delivered. Your choices were 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 8, and 9 or more. So we got 16% of our voters said 7 or 8. 24%, again, these are all really close. 24% of our people said 1 to 3. 28% said 9 or more, but most of them, I believe this is what you said yesterday on the show, 4 to 6. So 32% of our voters go with 4 to 6. Isn't 4 to 6 what you said yesterday, sir?
I actually voted. I was between C and D. I actually voted for D.
So you were going for a whole bunch.
I really think, I was between. I think he's going to get a lot. By the way, before we say the poll results, 1 player, 3 people have already decommitted that I know from Ole Miss, and 1's already switched to LSU, the tight end, number 8 tight end overall, according to ESPN's rankings. He's already switched to LSU, who could really use a tight end. So he's 6'6", 240 or something like that. So It begins.
All right, and then let me preview our other poll question. We'll be doing it later on today. You can go over to All Gloves Off SM on our X account. I believe that Cheese has retweeted it over on his X account as well. What's your X, buddy?
It is Football Cheese. So basically, my channel is Football with Cheese. It's just Football Cheese because, an X, you can't have that long a handle. So Football, CHEEZ, and follow me on X.
All right, great. So here's the question. Do you think the Patriots and the Bears are the 2 best teams in football as their record currently indicates? So you can say no, neither. You can say yes, the Bears, but no to the Patriots. You can say yes to the Patriots, but no for the Bears, or you can say yes for both. So those are your 4 answers that you can do on that particular poll question. That'll be the NFL one that we'll do here in just a moment. So it looks like Kalani Sitake, however you want to say it,
sure,
is staying at BYU. So let me give you a little bit on him first, and then we'll ask 3 questions, and we'll move on to our college football teams that we've got going out, the first 4 out of the college playoff here. So he's a former BYU. This is Kalani from BYU. He's a former BYU fullback, as you've already stated in the show. He was a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He came back to his alma mater after 2 seasons at Oregon State as their defensive coordinator in 14 and 15. Before that, he was at Oregon State as an assistant coach for Utah, and he was at Utah for a decade. So when BYU hired him, he became the first Tongan to be a head coach at the top level of college football. He's been at BYU since 2016, and while he was there, the school has a record of 83 and 46. BYU has just 2 losing seasons during his time in charge and has won at least 10 games in 4 of the past 6 seasons. So here are my questions for you, sir. Knowing all of that, who wins here? The coach, BYU, or both?
Both. He can stay at his alma mater. He should. It's tough to get a guy, it doesn't matter much money, to leave your alma mater, especially when you can have a bad season or 2 and probably keep your job. And of course BYU wins because he's done a great job.
All right. So we said this yesterday when we were talking about the Lane Kiffin thing. We wish somebody would just say, hey, I want to stay at this program. We're building something good here. And somebody did, or at least it looks like he's going to. So he's going to stay at BYU. He's saying that he's building something here. He wants to stay. He wants to see it through. So my question to you is, does this make you root for BYU because of it?
Yes, it does. It makes me like them more. I love that. I would have loved and respected Lane Kiffin more if he had said, I'm staying with Ole Miss. I want to retire at Ole Miss. Stop moving around. So, yeah, it does make me want to root for them. What about you?
I firmly agree on both. The first question was, who wins? And I do believe both win. And then the second part of the question that I gave to you was, do I root for them? I'm absolutely going to root for them. I'm going to root for them to beat Texas Tech over the weekend, just because of this simple fact. I hope they show a lot of him on camera. I've seen him play a few times this year because I've watched a lot of Big 12. And he's pretty active on the sideline and stuff like that. So, yes, this absolutely makes me root for BYU because their coach has said he's staying 100%. By the way, sir, just before you make this last point, we are three people away.
Not 2? It should be 2. Oh, 3. Okay.
3 people away from 100 people live with us right now on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. Go ahead and make your point, buddy.
Well, I'm just saying, he looks like a coach I want to play for.
Yes. Yeah. All right. And then the last thing here on this BYU deal, this actually goes to the other side of it for a second because he's now not going to go to Penn State. Do you think this leaves Penn State with Terry Smith? And if so, is that good or bad?
It's bad. Interim coaches really work out. Plus, they didn't want Terry Smith. He was not their first choice. You know what it reminds me of?
Isn't that awkward too? Because I was going to bring that up. Yeah. That is awkward for him, isn't it?
It is awkward. And here's the thing. Like, it reminds me of Tennessee. So they hired Derek Dooley after Lane Kiffin. It was bad. And Derek Dooley had a really bad year. And they fired him. And then they just decided they were going to get one of the top coaches out there. And no one wanted the job because it was a mess. He left them in a bad situation. They weren't a very talented team. And they thought they were going to get Charlie Strong from Louisville. He goes to Texas. And everyone they were interested wasn't interested. So basically, they just got stuck with Butch Jones. Butch Jones, the Cincinnati coach at the time, they didn't want him. He was like the 9th or 10th choice. And he's like, I want the job. They're like, all right, we got to get someone. And, he had a couple decent years. Maybe they won 8 or 9 games, but he was not the guy. And he wasn't very good either. And that's what reminds me of Penn State can't. All the people they're interested in, they don't want the job. They're stuck. Just look, you wanted to fire him because they had one bad year, James Franklin. That's fine, but you better get someone better. And I don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
So just firing a coach is not. Yeah, just firing your coach is never like when people want to fire Mike Tomlin at Pittsburgh, okay, who are you going to get? It's better. Who are you going to get that's going to have his record, his success? Good luck with that, especially because they don't really have a franchise quarterback right now. So, Penn State's they might be stuck, and they might be down to their 9th or 10th choice, just like Tennessee was with Butch Jones about a decade ago.
Yeah, that could be really bad for them. So I thought that was the interesting kind of not really forefront story to it, but like, the backing part of it was, wow. Now they're down to, and, I said it a couple of weeks ago. I love the fact that Penn State's cheering for him and things like that in the locker rooms. And as he's going, off the field and all of that, again, it's a good story. It's like Duke, right? It's a good story, but eventually this good story is going to come to a screeching halt. So
I wonder if they might just wait and see if someone in the NFL gets fired and try to hire that, just a name. I don't know. We'll see.
Which Kelly's out there. I mean, they could,
Honestly, like, I don't like him, but I mean, can you do worse? He's got to be like an option, right? No?
Yeah.
I mean, who else are you going to get? Who else are you going to get? Hey, Matt Patricia. Go get Matt Patricia.
Stop that.
They got to get some. I just don't know.
I can see that, though.
I've not heard that rumor that he's a candidate. I haven't
either.
It seems
like the thing is, I don't hear anybody's name attached to Penn State right now.
It's once again. I mean, they went 5-6 games, so they're not
they're
really.
6-6, so they're bowl eligible. They're going to go to a game.
Not in a great spot, and we've talked about this. You better win. You better be a top 10 team every year. We're Penn State. We're Penn State. We win. That's their attitude.
Marvin Lewis. That's who it's going to be. Marvin Lewis.
No, but not Charlie Strong. Not Charlie Strong.
Why
Former
not?
Texas Louisville coach. He's like in his 60s. He's the defensive line coach of the Buccaneers, but I'm sure he'd take it.
Sure he would.
Why not?
Sure he would. It is a top 20. I'm not going to go top 10. It's a top 20 spot in college football, isn't it?
If you ask a Penn State fan, it's top 3.
But
Lane Kiffin says LSU's number 1. Well, Lane Kiffin says it's the best job in college football is LSU. So do we trust
Lane?
He's
delirious too. All that money's been smacking him in the face.
No, it's top 20, but it's one of those things. Do you really want to coach him like Sataki? Do you really want to go with those unreal expectations every year? Just like we talk about LSU. You have to win 10 games. You have to be in the Big Ten title game. You have to be in the playoff every year. That's what Penn State thinks. That's what LSU thinks. With the SEC, do you really want that job? I don't think you do.
Well, let me. I'm going to make this a poll question for tomorrow. It'll be a question, and we'll probably won't talk about it on any of the shows. Well, actually, we might talk about it on our watch along that we're going to do on Thursday. Would you rather have Penn State, being that it's a top 20 college football program, or would you rather have one of the 32 NFL coaching jobs?
Well, it depends which NFL coaching job. Do you have a franchise?
Right, that's what I mean. I'm not going to, you can't pick which one. And, the good ones don't come open because they've all got good players and good coaches and all of that. So you're going to have to take, a Jacksonville or a Carolina or, Arizona or something like that.
Tennessee Titans. It's available. It's available. Yep.
It probably is. All right, buddy. So let's talk about our first 4 teams that we have out in the college football playoffs. So let's go the 4th team, the 3rd team, the 2nd team, and the 1st team we have out. So who is your 4th team? And I know this is probably going to change with the games that are going on this weekend, but let's talk about it as of right now, just like we did our 12 teams yesterday when we picked them.
Do we want to list who we picked first so we know who's out?
Okay. You know what? Let's do that. Do you have yours all written down? I've got mine written down here beside me.
Yeah, I'll go first, but we'll do each one. But I'll just list my 12 real quick, and then I'll do one, and we'll go back and forth. So my 12 was Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, BYU, Oklahoma, Notre Dame is the 10, Virginia is 11, North Texas is the 12. So my first team that just missed to me was Alabama. Obviously, if they win against Georgia, they're in. The reason I had them out is I think it's just as important not who you beat, but also who you lose to. And that loss to Florida State week 1 to me looks really bad. I know they won at Georgia, and they lost to Oklahoma, which is a good loss, but they did lose to Florida State, who had a losing record this year. So I have Alabama just missing it as my number 13.
Okay. So I'll give you my 12. It was Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6 would be Texas A&M, 4, Texas Tech, 5, BYU, 6. Then I went with Oregon at 7, Ole Miss at 8, Oklahoma then comes in at 9. Alabama was my number 10 team. Notre Dame was 11, and I put Utah at number 12. Now, you will notice, and one of the things that you pointed out yesterday, I went with the teams that I thought were right now. So I didn't put the non-conference team in there somewhere. I'm going to have to, and I'll make them be my first team out, which I think will be North Texas.
Okay. Yeah, you went with the 12 best, not the 12 that will miss and make it, right?
Correct.
Okay. The other team I have just missing, another SEC team, Vanderbilt, real impressive win at Tennessee, but that was their best win of the year. They didn't beat Texas. They didn't beat, was it Bama? And they actually played maybe the softest SEC schedule. So I just could not put them in. They could make it, but I think they just miss at 10-2.
All right. And I've got another team that's pretty much the same way there. You probably got them in later on in your 4. Virginia's in the same boat for me. A decent schedule, but didn't perform to the expectation that I thought Virginia would. So that's pretty much all.
Virginia, they went 10-2.
Yes, you're the team you just put as being outside of the. I mean, you put Bama outside. You don't have any room to stand on, sir.
No. I'm just saying, you think Virginia at 10-2 underachieved? I think they may have overachieved. I didn't expect them to win 10 games this year.
Well,
I think they're playing really good now.
They may have overachieved for who they are, but they didn't They didn't overachieve enough to get in this playoff. How about that?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, and if they get in, if they don't win the ACC, they should not be in. Obviously, even if they're 10-2, I don't think the next team I'm going to mention is the ACC team. That's 10-2.
Go ahead.
So Virginia, if they weren't winning the conference championship game, no, they shouldn't be in. I get it. Okay. Next team I have is Miami. They did beat Notre Dame. Great win, week 1. Awesome. But you lost to Louisville at home. I think Louisville's 7-5. That's a terrible loss. They lost to SMU. So they lost to 2 unranked teams. Those are 2 losses. So there's no way I could put them in the top 12. And the ACC just was weak this year, mainly because Florida State and Clemson just were bad. So, Miami, I have my 3rd just miss.
And you know what? I'm going to give you your flowers on everything you just said, because Miami is my next team as well. Yes, the ACC itself was I don't want to say putrid, but it wasn't the ACC that we're used to. So just because the conference was weak, I can't do a whole lot with any other teams in this conference. So again, I understand the wins that they had, but as you pointed out, Louisville was a terrible loss, and it's just important who you lose to as who you beat. So I left them right there.
Okay. My next team, you actually had them in the top 12, is Utah. The 2 best teams they played, BYU and Texas Tech, they lost. So that was the 2 top 10 teams they played. They lost. They did beat Arizona State. There might have been some injuries in that game, though, because it was pretty lopsided. And they did beat Cincinnati. Those are good wins. But if they had just beaten one of the BYU Texas Tech, I would probably have had them in, but they didn't. So, Utah I have is one of my 4 just missed.
Okay. The other team that I've got out, I think you're going to go a little nuts on here. And to be honest with you, I'm going to do something that I've never done during this podcast. I'm going to hand it to you in a second because I did not go to the restroom like I should have before we started this podcast. So I'm going to hand it to you for a second after I tell you this. The last team that I've got here that has a outside shot at getting in, it's an outside shot, but it's a shot, is Texas. I mean, I know they lost to Ohio State, and then they put a bunch of cupcakes in there, and then I know they lost to Florida. Stop. I know, but they also beat some really good teams. If we're going to say it's not just who you lose to, it's who you beat, you've got to do that with Texas too. I mean, they beat Oklahoma. and they beat Oklahoma handedly, 23-6.
They did.
They beat Mississippi State, a team that I know ended up going 5-7, but I think both of us think that Mississippi State was better than their 5-7 record.
In overtime.
Yes, in overtime. They beat Vanderbilt. They beat, Georgia beat them. And then easily beat them, but you're kind of expected to lose to Georgia. You are.
Except Alabama.
Texas was ranked really high in the beginning, and I'll talk about that here in a second after I let you have the floor for your Texas Steve Sarkisian thing here. But then they beat Texas A&M at the end. So they beat Texas A&M, they beat Vanderbilt, and they beat Oklahoma. So they did have 3 quality wins in the schedule this year. Go ahead.
Okay. So Steve Sarkisian, they went 9-3. The committee last year didn't let any 9-3 team even sniff the playoff. You had to go 10-2 at least. And Sarkisian says best team.
I'm going to walk away for just a second. All right.
That's fine. You can come back and listen to this later. Yeah.
Okay.
So it said the best teams should play, not the record. That's what Sarkisian said. The best team should play, and the record should not count, according to him. So according to him, maybe if Duke wins 3 top 15 games at 7-5, they should be in, because they beat 3 top 15 teams like Texas did. Absolutely ridiculous. We should not get caught up in record, according to Steve Sarkisian. Caught up in record. So record doesn't matter, according to him. If he coached Miami Hurricanes, he'd be saying the exact opposite. We're 10-2. We beat Notre Dame. And Texas is 9-3. He would absolutely say that. So he's a total hypocrite. And if he says otherwise, he's a liar. He called Miami out for running up the score. It's very true they did. It was 31-7 against Pitt. They threw a deep ball to make it 38-7. Absolutely they did. It's atrocious. Pitt should be livid. I hope the Pitt coach called out Miami. Absolutely ridiculous. But you're now playing the victim. We should be in because we beat A&M. We beat Vandy. We scheduled Ohio State. So it doesn't matter what record is. We should be in. He's playing the victim, and he's basically belittling another school, saying they shouldn't be in Miami because they ran up a score. I hate victimhood, and I hate when you trash another program. Steve Sarkisian did both. He also called out Notre Dame because they lost to Northern Illinois last year and made the championship game. Well, you know what? Notre Dame went 11-1 last year in the regular season. Yes, they lost to Northern Illinois, but they went 11-1. They didn't go 9-3. And if they had, they wouldn't have made it. And Notre Dame was the 7th seed at 11-1. There were 2 seeds higher than them, multiple 2 seeds higher than them. So the committee did punish them for losing to Northern Illinois, but they won every game. They were the 7th seed. I can't stand this. This is Texas arrogance. We're Texas. We should be in because we beat 3 top 15 teams. Who cares who we lost to? Who cares that we scheduled San Jose State? They scheduled Sam Houston State and UTEP. He's complaining, we scheduled Ohio State, so let's throw it out because we scheduled that game. But you scheduled San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston State. Okay, if you had scheduled Ohio State and then 2 other pretty good programs, even like Duke or say like Arizona State, okay, you beat them, then you have an argument. You can't make an argument when you schedule those cupcakes. And you beat Kentucky and Mississippi State in overtime. They combined for 3 SEC wins total, those 2 teams. You barely beat them. Absolutely arrogant, ridiculous. Sarkisian tells you all the good points and none of the bad ones. And I did not even mention they lost to a 4-8 Florida team. Our friend Sirhan had a great, I reposted it, when Sarkisian said back in late November, it's a disservice to our sport if Texas doesn't make it. Sirhan posted, it'd be a disservice that you lost to Florida. A 4-8 Florida team, and you lost. You played at Georgia. If you had played that close, maybe you lost by 25 points in that game. You should be in. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I just have one more point. Okay, will it stop teams from maybe scheduling the Ohio State game? Maybe, but I have a solution for that. Why not? You have 8 conference games, right? You get 1 cupcake. You get 1 game. You get a pick. The other 2. Or the other 3 games, you play the other Power 4 conference teams. A random schedule. Why not everyone agree to that? You play a Big 12 team. See your SEC team, Texas. You play a Big 12 team. You play a Big 10 and play ACC team every year. Why not? And then you can pick one Sam Houston State, one Mercer, one Kennesaw. Well, not Kennesaw State. They're pretty good, but you know what I mean. You know, you can do one of those cupcakes. If all they agree to that, then no one will have a problem with this anymore. And the fact that you scheduled Ohio State was good. I'll give you credit at Ohio State. But then you scheduled 3 teams that you knew would win. So you're guaranteed 3-1 in those games. And all you had to do was only lose one more game, and you lost 2. So there, I'd let you go to the bathroom. And
That's okay. That's okay, buddy. And,
what say you?
Of course, we gained viewers while I was gone. So, just to prove to you, I mean, I want to do some things here because I agree on at least some of your points, right? You're right. I'm going to go over their schedule real quick.
We're Texas. We should be in because we're Texas.
So they did a schedule Ohio State, and then it was San Jose State. It was
if they beat Ohio State, they're in. If they beat them, they didn't beat them. They should just beat them. Sorry, go ahead.
And then Sam Houston. After that, they had their bye. And then that's the thing, too, for me. You had your bye. You had 3 easy teams, and then you went to Florida and just laid an egg. I mean, I know you scored 21 points, but you still lost, right? Then they turned it around. They beat Oklahoma, which after losing to Florida State, I remember going, what? They beat Oklahoma? What?
They're losing to Florida. They had pretty much had to. Yeah, they pretty much had to. It was a must-win, and they played great in that game.
They did. They beat them 23-6. Then they turn around and they go to Kentucky. Sometimes, Kentucky is a mid team, right? So is Mississippi State. That was their next one. They beat them. Vanderbilt, most years are probably in the same boat. They're that mid-level kind of team in their conference, right? Then they lost to Georgia. They beat Arkansas, and they beat Texas A&M. So I do have some questions for you here about your rant, right? Isn't it a coach's job to take up and convince people that his team needs to be better than what they actually are? Isn't that his job?
Great question. Yes, but here's how you handle it. We beat 3 top 15 teams. Yes, we lost to Florida, but we were playing great at the end of the year. We just knocked off Texas A&M. We think we're one of the best teams, and I think it speaks for itself. We should be in. That's it.
That's it.
Instead, he bitched. He said it's disservice. He played the victim like a whiny little baby. He acted like a baby, and then he ripped Miami. He ripped another team that might be ahead of him. He trashed another team, and then he trashed Notre Dame for getting in last year, who went 11-1. They had the worst loss of anyone in college football last year, no doubt about it. But they went 11-1, and they weren't a top 4 seed. They were 7th. So it's not like the college football committee said, "Oh, we'll just reward you with the 5th seed." They were 7th. So he just trashed other teams, and he played victim. That's what I have a problem with, not defending his team.
Okay. And, that's one of the things that I thought you would say to me. That's one of the reasons why I asked that question. So why were all the media outlets praising Texas and Arch Manning from the start of the season? And do you think that had something to do with how they played for the rest of the season?
Because the last name's Manning. He was number 1 recruit in the country. That had a lot to do with it. Texas lost more than they think. They didn't lose as much as Ohio State, but they lost probably second most talent as far as NFL talent of anyone. Mm-hmm. They lost 4 offensive linemen. They lost a lot. So expecting them to be as good or better than last year was probably irresponsible by the media. Losing offensive linemen, it's tough. But I think everyone assumed that he'd be such an upgrade over Quinn Ewers. He wasn't. And looking back, I should have figured it out. I should have figured out he wasn't as good as we thought. Why play Quinn Ewers? Why was he the starter all year? It never made sense to me. Now it makes sense. They knew that Arch Manning wasn't as good as the media had hyped him up to be.
Right, but I think sometimes the media does that to the disservice of the team, right? They say, "Oh, Texas is number 1. Arch Manning is going to be great." And we really had no idea if either of those things were true.
Yeah, we didn't. And yeah, Texas.
And now we know.
Yeah, now we know. And they lost their top 2 receivers. They lost so much on offense. So
yeah, one of the plays for that terrible NFL team. Where'd that? Oh, never mind.
Oh, you mean Jaden Blue getting drafted by the Cowboys? The running back?
Yes, that's who I was. Yeah, okay.
That's who you're thinking about, the running back.
Oh,
Isaiah Bond, wide receiver, was drafted. He's with the Browns.
There
That's
you
what I
go.
meant.
Well, yeah, he is with a terrible team. So, yes,
There you go.
that's who I
That's what
was
you meant.
referring to.
Okay, cool.
They lost to OSU, they lost to Florida, and they lost to Georgia. They beat Oklahoma, they beat Texas Tech, and they beat Vanderbilt. So here's my question for you. I know this doesn't put them in the top 12, and I don't expect it to, but I do want to ask you this. Are they the best 3-loss team in the country?
I have to pull it up. I got to look at the 3-loss teams.
Hang on, I can help you.
Okay, so we have USC, Arizona, Michigan, Houston, Georgia Tech. Yeah, I mean they are. I'd say USC's close, but Arizona State's another one, right?
No,
Yeah.
they're a 4-loss team now. Arizona.
They're a 4-loss
ASU.
team. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are. I think slightly better than USC, but I guess they are. But they have 3 losses, and they shouldn't be in. And
Right, and again, I preferenced it by saying this doesn't put them in the top 12. But I guess what I'm thinking here, Cheese, is, I'm kind of building off these questions, right? So we, not necessarily you and I but the media as a whole hyped them up so big. And then they did finish 9-3. They did have some good wins. They had one really terrible loss. So I'm trying to give them credit for what they did do. I think what both of us have a problem with at the end of the season, and what really kind of chafes us, is what Steve Sarkisian said and how he went about trying to. If he would have said what you said in the beginning, hey, these are the great teams that we beat, and we scheduled a really strong strength of schedule, which we'll talk about here in just a second. And because of those facts, I think we should be in the college football playoff. And shut his mouth and walked away from the mic, I'd have been like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But not.
I respected him more. I would have respected him a lot more if he'd done that. That's what he should have done.
Okay. So they're the best 3-loss team. Their strength of schedule, and I want to bring this up because of exactly what it is. So if you look at the NCAA's website and you go to it and you look at their strength of schedule spot, here's who they said were the top 4 teams in strength of schedule. I don't really think I believe this, but here's what they say. Oregon, number 1, which I know. Indiana, number 2. I can buy that one. Alabama, number 3. I can buy that. And Texas was number 4. Should they be rewarded for their non-conference schedule more than any other team because of some of their non-conference schedules? And before you answer this, if you're going to say no, isn't that just going to make teams just do cupcake non-conference schedules, knowing that it's going to hurt them to get into the playoffs if they lose to those teams?
So those are the top 4 overall schedules or non-conference schedules?
Hang on. Did I put that in my? Those might be the.
Because look, Oregon and Indiana are not top 2. But you know why? Because they didn't play Ohio State. Like Oregon and Indiana did not play Ohio State. So their schedules are not even close to the top 4. Texas played a really tough schedule. Alabama, not as tough as Texas, but yeah. Texas played a really tough schedule, except for Sam Houston State, San Jose State, and the other UTEP, which is, I get one of those. One of those I get, maybe 2. But to say that we schedule Ohio State and to ignore the fact they schedule those other 3 games is absolutely ridiculous. But no, Oregon and Indiana did play Ohio State in the regular season.
So I got it from teamrankings.com. I'm going back to where I got it from here. NCAA college football strength of schedule rankings and ratings. Let's see here. The 2025 season.
There's no doubt about it. Texas played a tough schedule, but Florida and South Carolina played tough. Florida and South Carolina are the teams that played the tough schedules.
I see what I did. I did it for the 25-26 season, so I did it for next season, not this season.
Oh.
All right, just never mind. I can't be all that perfect. Wow. So I'm looking at this
Having
year.
internet.
Huh. So looking at this year. No, that's not right. I don't know. Shutting that computer. I don't know. I did think they played a halfway decent schedule, but I like the strength of schedule model, and I think you should be rewarded for playing a better non-conference schedule. Do you at least agree with that? You should be rewarded in this college football playoff thing for playing a better non-conference schedule. Are you still with me?
You're cutting in and out. I'm having internet issues.
Okay. Yeah, I see your text to me now.
That's me texting you, by the way. Your phone keeps going off. Yeah. Hopefully it's better. I don't know. I'm having just internet issues. I don't know why.
Here, let me do a couple things. Let me get some. Hold on. So a lot of times when this happens, guys, it means I'm doing too many things at once. And I am going to shut down this computer all the way here. Because I've got like 6 windows open over here and 4 windows on the other computer. And yeah, so let me shut some of this stuff down here. All right. Hopefully the internet issues will get better. I shut a bunch of windows down. So let's do that. In fact, I can shut down a couple of these now.
Kind of cutting in and out. I'm not really sure what you're saying.
Okay. All right, so let me just do this real quick. I will tell everybody, and Cheese, if you can hear me. So I think it's actually better if Texas misses the college football playoff. That way they can get a head start on recruiting, which they need. As Cheese has already said, they lost a lot to the NFL draft last year. They need to replenish that. And they did an okay job this year. They've got the 7th best recruiting class coming in. So if they can get themselves in the top 5 by getting a head start and not going to the college football playoff and playing all those games, I think that will help them. I also think that they can concentrate on one good opponent, because when you go to the bowl game, that's all you've got to do. You can have specific practices to only go to that opponent, and you can worry about beating them and coming out on top of that game, winning that game, and getting yourself a little bit better record. They can get 10 wins if they win and do it that way. And Manning can continue to grow. And then I wonder this, if we don't hype them up so much because they missed the college football playoff, and we being the media in general, right? If we don't hype them up so much and they missed the college football playoff because of it this year, next year, I wonder if they can sneak up on a few people possibly, and then maybe get a few more wins because they do that. So Cheese has gone completely away now, which is, it's not fine, but I understand what he's doing here. Let me see. I think he's trying to reconnect is what he's doing right now, which I certainly appreciate. While he is doing all of that, I will tell you that we, of course, are looking at a bunch of different things right at the moment. We're getting a new sponsor. 5 Score is a sponsor that we're getting right now. It's a company that does podcasting equipment and does microphones and mixers and all that kind of stuff. We're going to have a special website to where you can go to. We'll get you some discounts on some things. So not only have we got Battle Bites, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit, but we now do as well. We have a second sponsor, 5 Score, out of Bellefontaine, Ohio. And we certainly appreciate them. And we'll have more information for that for all of you in the coming weeks. So thank you to both of our big sponsors right now, which are Battle Bites and which are 5 Score. Both of those companies, there is not a whole lot working over here. I don't know what's going on with, it's either my internet, Cheese's internet, something's going on here. So we'll keep going with this and do it as well as we can. I can't get to anything else here. It won't let me do a darn thing. So I am kind of messing with this for a second. Cheese is telling me what's going on over on his end, so I'm reading the stuff from him. All right, buddy. I got you. I hear you. So let's go with this. We'll give Cheese a chance to come back and be with us. We appreciate the 130 or so of you who are with us live right now on the Lights Out Sports podcast. And we'll go with this. So you can go over and use code ALLGlovesOFF10 and get 10% off not only your first order, but every order that you order from Battle Bites. Go to www.fuelyourbattle.com and you can get a ton of stuff from Battle Bites. Again, it's a great jerky company. They are getting everything put together right now, getting all the orders put out as we speak. They are made from premium brisket, no junk, no fillers, nothing like that. And you can certainly take advantage of that. And they are a great sponsor for us, and we certainly appreciate them. So and once again, you go over to www.fuelyourbattle.com and you can get 10% off of your order by using promo code ALLGlovesOFF10. Premium brisket beef jerky engineered for gamers and athletes who refuse to compromise on performance and taste. All right, so he's saying he's got no internet right at the moment, or there's something going on one of our two spots here. So that is fine. We'll certainly figure all this out. It's not like we've not been through this before. So we got the college football thing in the background. We were at the end of our college football deal. So let's go ahead and jump into MLB, as we'll just keep right on going here. And we'll do it with our baseball intro right about now. You can't see it great because it's just got me in the middle. This big ugly guy. Got that flaming baseball there, and we're going to jump into what we call our MLB 4 Pitch Talk. All right. There were some trades that were made. There's been 4 of them over the last week or so since the last time that you and I spoke. I know that Cheese wants to talk about one of the guys, so I'll go past Devin Williams for a second. We'll get to him in a moment if he is able to come back with us. Once again, I will remind you as well that we do have a NFL poll question coming up. Do you think the Patriots and the Bears are the 2 best teams in football right now as their record indicates? You can go, no, neither one of them are. You can say, yes, the Bears are, but not the Patriots. You can go, yes, the Patriots are, but not the Bears. Or you can say yes for both. And I'll just tell you right now, no one has saying yes for both. So maybe you'll be the first one. Go over to All Gloves Off SM. That is our X account at All Gloves Off XM, and you'll be able to vote on that right now. So the Angels, give you a little bit of a breaking news thing. The Angels actually did sign Alex Manoah today, which I was kind of hoping that there's a few other teams that I follow that might do that, might take a chance on him. My wife is right. I can't type and talk at the same time. All right. So, yeah, they've signed him. I'm getting to my spot here that I need to be. It was just a 1-year deal. It was, I'm getting to it here. And it was a major league deal. It's $1.95 million for the next year. The Halos, they being the Angels, they do have vacancies on their 40-man roster, so they were just simply able to add him. Oh, wait, there's Cheese. Here he is. Hey, buddy, are you back with us? Kind of, sort of. He's trying to be back. I swear. I'm not freezing him up on purpose, ladies and gentlemen. He's trying to connect here.
I don't know what's going on. I'm having internet issues. I cannot hear you.
All right. So I'm just going to keep right on going. When you can hear me, just stop me. How about that? So again, Alex Manoah was signed today by the Anaheim Angels. 1 year, $1.95 million deal. They didn't have to move anybody. They didn't have to transfer anybody. He was just simply taken off of the roster, or excuse me, he was just simply added to their 40-man roster. Not a big deal there. The Blue Jays made a pretty decent signing today. I was talking to some of this with some of my buddies. Cody Ponce, he got a 3-year deal from the Blue Jays today. As you see, Cheese has gone back off trying to reconnect here. We'll keep everything going and just keep right on going with the baseball talk here. Hopefully, he will be back before we get to our NFL stuff, even though I do have all the notes. Cheese is the NFL guy, so we're going to hope that he's going to be able to do that here shortly. But the Blue Jays signed Cody Ponce, and if you're going, well, I've never heard of this guy in my life. Who in the heck is this? He was the MVP last year for the Korean baseball organization. How about now, buddy?
Okay, it's working now, but
hey,
it's you get that globe in the bottom of the screen of the computer. I'm getting that. It's if we're sponsored by Xfinity, they're gonna have to start paying my internet bill because it's not doing.
That's okay. That's okay. So we've already talked about. I don't know if you saw it today. The Angels signed Alex Manoah to a 1-year, $1.95 million deal. He's already freezing up on us again. There we go. Now I see him moving. The Blue Jays have signed Cody Ponce, which is he was the MVP of the KBO this year. Heck of a deal. He signed a 3-year, $30 million contract. He took the ball 29 times, turned in a 1.89 ERA, according to MLBRumors.com. Had a fantastic year for them, 36.2% strikeout rate and a 6% walk rate. He gave 252 strikeouts overall and was the only pitcher in the Korean Baseball League to have a sub-2 ERA. So a fantastic, I think, signing by the Toronto Blue Jays. They already got Dylan Cease, and now all of a sudden they have the best pitcher from the KBO that's come over with them as well. So great signing by them. How about this, Cheese? Are you still with me, buddy? Can you hear me? Yes? No?
I barely hear anything you're saying. It's breaking up so bad. I just don't. Okay. I don't know what's going on. But
all right, no problem. So we've got that going on. That's the two of the 4 signings that we were talking about.
Thursday if we can.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep right on going. I know exactly what we're going to do. We'll talk about everything, so it's not a problem. Hopefully some of our people will comment, and maybe I'll talk to all of them, so just talking to one of you. So we'll keep everything going, and that'll be not a problem whatsoever. I like the Sonny Gray signing, or actually the trade of Sonny Gray. He went to the Boston Red Sox since Cheese and I last spoke on this show. Of course, we've been doing a whole bunch of shows. And maybe that's why his internet's down. We've been doing so darn much. Maybe it's just bogging his internet down when we're doing all these shows. So we got that part taken care of. I love the fact that he got traded over there for just a couple of minor league people and some money, about $20 million worth of money, because he's owed a lot. Okay. Are you there?
Yeah, I don't. You keep cutting in and out. So, yeah.
Is it because you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you at times, and then you disappear for like 10 seconds, 10, 50 seconds, and I hear your little snippets. I don't know. My internet is just so messed up right now.
Okay, bud.
It does this, unfortunately.
It's not a problem. We'll just keep your beautiful face and hair up there for everybody to see, okay? And then we'll go from there. So the last signing when I talk about Sonny Gray, though, I love what he said, because he was a Yankee at one time. And he was asked in his introductory press conference today what he thought about being a Yankee. And his response was, well, at least I'm somewhere now where I can hate the Yankees, or something to that effect. So that was pretty good by Sonny Gray, basically saying that he didn't like his time in New York. So I wouldn't like my time in New York either. I don't like my time when the Yankees are on my television even. So I don't do that too often. But I like all of that. And then the other signing that went down today, I was going to save this for a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and do it since Cheese isn't here right the moment. That was Devin Williams. Devin Williams signed with the Mets today. He signed a 3-year deal, paying him $15 million. Let me I don't think it's my internet stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and shut everything down again here to see if Cheese can connect with me. So when he was with his last season in Milwaukee, he pitched to a 1.75 ERA while striking out 40 and a half of his opposing hitters. Fantastic stats. Heading into 2024, there was a decent argument actually for him being the best reliever in MLB. But he hit his first real setback in spring training. He was tested, and those tests revealed that he had 2 stress fractures in his back. So he didn't make his season debut until shortly after the trade deadline. Williams looked every bit as dominant, though, when he did come back. He reeled off 21 2/3 frames, a 3-run baseball with 38 strikeouts to finish out the season. His season ended, though, in heartbreak fashion, if you remember. Everybody from work that's watching me right now is going to remember, because I was touting them. I lost people money because I really thought the Brewers were going to go a lot further, because statistically they had the best bullpen in baseball. But then, of course, the heartbreak hit as he surrendered the go-ahead run to Pete Alonso in the final game of the wild card series, and Milwaukee got eliminated right away. So the next year he went to the Yankees. He gave up multiple runs in 3 of his first 10 innings. He was actually replaced by Luke Weaver in the Yankee pinstripes as the closer. So Weaver also began to struggle. Williams again was promoted, but he posted a 5.06 ERA in the second half, despite striking out 40% of the batters that he faced, which was the second best strikeout rate among qualified relievers last year, if your name's not Mason Miller. And most people's names aren't Mason Miller. So the Yankees got David Bendar, if you remember, at the trade deadline from the Pirates, and Williams was never the closer again. He became the setup guy. That end result for the Yankees was a career worst 4.79 earned run average over the 67 appearances for the entire season. Opponents had here's the big thing. And sometimes in baseball, you get these outlying things, right? Opponents had a 339 batting average on balls in play when he allowed a runner to get on base. That is extremely rare and extremely high. So once he got a runner on base, they almost always scored. So he finished 8th in strikeout rate and 10 in whiff rates. That's when you swing and completely miss the pitch. And Williams has a 2-pitch mix, which he uses roughly in equal rates. He's got the fastball that sits about 94, and it's a good pitch, but that standout offering is that unique kind of airbender screwball / changeup that he throws. And that pitch still moves, unlike any other changeup in the league, and opponents have hit below 200 on it in every one of his full seasons in Major League Baseball. So it's a really weird kind of thing. How about now? Cheese, are you back with me now?
I heard that, but
Okay.
leading up to that, you were still breaking up. I don't know. My internet is just so messed up right now.
Well, I didn't have you on
here.
just then, so you couldn't hear anything until I put you back up on the screen. Have you heard everything I've said so far? I'm going to go with
no idea what you just said.
Okay. So what about Devin Williams? You said you had some thoughts on Devin Williams. Do you want to say anything about Devin Williams? Can you hear me?
I have no idea what you're saying, Mike.
Okay.
I have no idea. So we might have to just do the NFL segment on Thursday, because it's just not working. I don't know if anyone can hear me.
I can hear you.
I cannot hear you at all. It's just keeps skipping.
Hang on. Let me text you. That's what I'm going to do right now. I know you're getting to see some behind the scenes stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, what in the world are these guys doing? But we are going to do a little bit of this here. Oh, he can't see me now. So I'm just texting him that I can hear him. I'm going to put a period at the end of that. We're going to look at the rest of this baseball stuff. And then as he's requested, I hit the wrong button here. So now everything I've said for a little bit, it's just typing out. I don't want that to happen. All right, let's get off of that. So just to kind of wrap everything up, guys, the MLB stuff, and I don't want to do the football things without Cheese. I mean, that's his genre. That he knows exactly what's going on with all of that. We'll just kind of break out of here a little early. We'll apologize for the malfunctions that we're getting off of that end. It happens every once in a while. When you do these live shows like this, you never know. We've never had anything like that happen before, so I guess there's a first time for everything. But what I want to talk about here with Devin Williams, I do want to go over his contract a minute because it's got a few kind of, I don't want to say crazy things in it, but he signed with the Mets, 3-year deal, paying them $15 million per season, with $5 million of each season deferred. So he's getting paid $10 million a season during that season, and then $5 million of it's going to be deferred. He's getting a $6 million signing bonus paid in 3 $2 million installments, 1 per season. So a 3-year contract, he's getting $6 million as a signing bonus, and he's getting $2 million of each of those in installments each season. And if he gets traded, he gets an extra $1 million. So now the question becomes this. One, is it an overpay by the Mets? There's some good numbers in there, and there's some not so good numbers in there. They're just kind of depending on or backing on the fact that that 4.79 ERA is something that ballooned up, and it was caused by when he got people on base. Maybe he was tipping his pitches or something like that. So you just don't know. They're saying that that's kind of an anomaly and that he's going to revert back to form, which he very well could do. And then there's the question as well of, do you know why he's getting the signing bonuses the way he's getting them? And there is a very specific reason why he's doing that. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. And when you guys hear this, you're going to be like, oh, wow, that's kind of neat. I didn't think about that. I don't know if this is his agent. That's what I assume it is that's doing this for him. So he's getting these signing bonuses every season. And if you are a big baseball guy like I am, you guys know that there is a work stoppage that may happen here relatively soon. And the only part of Major League Baseball contracts that get paid out during work stoppages are signing bonuses. So he's setting everything up for himself that even if we have a stoppage in play of Major League Baseball, that he will make sure that he gets paid $2 million a season, even if nothing's going on. So that's pretty smart by Devin Williams, actually. So, we went over those 4 signings there. Devin Williams, the Boston Red Sox that traded for Sonny Gray, the Angels signed Alex Manoah, and of course the Orioles as well. They signed Ryan Hensley. Ryan Hensley, one of these guys who has been a reliever the majority of his career, and the Orioles have come out and said that they signed him to be a starter. We'll see how that all works out. There have been some other relievers turned starters like Michael King. He's out there right now. He was a reliever when he was with the New York Yankees, and now all of a sudden he is a starter, and he was a starter with San Diego last year, is more than likely going to be a starter moving forward. So it's not like it's never been done before. It's something that is a little unconventional, and you need to know exactly what you're doing. But I think if you do, you'll be able to take care of that and get everything put together. So here's what I want to be able to do here real fast. I'm going to go over what we're going to talk about football-wise on Thursday's show, because, again, we're going to be doing a great watch-along. We're going to be doing it with the Dallas Cowboys being at the Detroit Lions. Now, as you probably have already figured out, if you're just now tuning in, Cheese isn't with me right at the moment. He's having some internet problems on his end. So we're just kind of making this up as we go along right at the moment. So hang on. He's messaging me a couple of things here. Let me check on him. All right. So he's trying to get everything repaired. So I'll give him a few minutes here before we actually sign off on all of this, hoping that he can come back and do this NFL segment with us. But let me give you a little bit of a preview. We're going to look at, can the Bengals actually win their division with the Steelers, with the Ravens? We'll look at some numbers. We'll look at how it all fits in together. We'll look at the schedule for the Ravens, the schedule for the Steelers, and the schedule for the Bengals while we're talking tomorrow. Right now, what's their percentages? And then we'll talk about Trey Hendrickson and T. Higgins as to when they'll be coming back. I'm sure you guys saw today, veteran cornerback Darius Slay was released by the Steelers. Seems like They had a falling out there. So we're wondering where Darius Slay is going to go. If you guys didn't see, we got Adam Thielen. He was with the Vikings, and then he was released, and the Steelers picked him up today. And then we're also going to talk about Monday Night Football matchups. The one that happened this past Monday night was terrible. I think most of us turned it off when it got to be 17-0 in the blink of an eye. And we don't want to see those kind of matchups. So what would Cheese and I do as far as doing something to make it to where we don't have terrible Monday night matchups? We'll talk about that tomorrow, actually on Thursday as well. So, and then we've got to do the poll question here, right? We'll make sure that we get all that stuff put together. Are the Patriots and the Bears currently the top two teams in the NFL? You can go to our X account at All Gloves Off SM as our X. You can go to that and you can vote. You're allowed to do neither one of them, both of them, or you can pick yes, the Patriots, no, the Bears, or yes, the Bears and no, the Patriots. So a lot of good things for you guys to be able to do right at the moment. We are really sorry that we had this internet issue with Cheese. And like I said, I don't want to do the football segment without him. He is our football guru. Go and follow him. So he's just saying he's just going to stop. So we're good. All right. Follow my buddy Cheese at Football Cheese on X. And you can go to his YouTube channel, Football with Cheese, over there. And you can see all kinds of videos. He just did a video that we plugged up on us as well. And now I'll tell you this, guys. I know that we don't want to go early. We don't want to do this without doing the NFL segment like we usually do, but we're going to. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here in just a second. But what I want to tell you is there's another great podcast going on out there. I'll plug him for a minute. They don't even know I'm going to do this. They're probably not watching us because they're getting prepared for their own podcast. But go over to Sons of Star podcast. If you like those Dallas Cowboys, you can get a good preview as to what is going to happen on Thursday night when we, myself and Cheese, do our watch along. And I want to thank you guys. We just jumped over 150 people with us live right now. Thank you guys very much. We certainly appreciate it. Hopefully we won't ever have these internet issues again, and we'll be able to do everything as clean and clear, as crisp as possible. But since we're unable to do that right at the moment, like I said, I don't want to do the NFL segment without Cheese. That's his baby. So we will wait until Thursday night to do it. Thursday night as we do the watch along, Dallas at Detroit. So until then, let's play a little bit of our outro music. All right. I like this thing. We do have a comment up here. Let me get to the comment real quick. All right. As Ramen says, that's too bad. Yes. Fix his internet and get him on there, and then we'll catch everybody on Thursday. It'll be 6 p.m. Pacific time. It'll be 7 p.m., I believe, Central, and then 8 on the East Coast. We'll do the watch along with the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions in less than 48 hours. And as we always say, join us then. Thank you for being with us now. And again, the only thing that's fair in life, and we all know it, is a baseball hit between the third and first base line. Good evening, everyone. Have a great night. And here is what you can expect from All Gloves Off Sports Media.